going on, guys? Pila Trades here. Hey, it's about time I give you guys an update on this stock and this company. I haven't talked about it recently, but as of recent, today actually, while at the gym, I saw some articles that were of very, very high note when it comes to this company. A lot of people don't talk about this company. A lot of people don't talk about this stock unless they're into that conspiracy theory stuff, and then they get crazy about it. But without further ado, let's get into it. And of course, I'm talking about none other than BlackRock. And before we get into it, here's a snapshot of what it looks like in the past, performance over the last 5 years. It's up 90.89%. And here's BlackRock in the past year, up 13.37%. This is BlackRock in the last 6 months, up 6.69%. Here's the stock in the last month. It's down 6.88%. I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you the context here in a second. In the past month, down 6.88%. In the past 5 days, it's down 1.27%. And today, I caught it, mid-change in the price percentage here, down 2.18% is what it looks like. And here's what the stock looks like in the 52-week range. We can see it's a little bit around the middle, a little bit towards the higher end of the middle portion of it. And you see that it does have a dividend of 2.16%, which is not a lot per se, but on a stock that's almost $1,000, it does pay up. So this is what I'm talking about, all right? You don't have to look past 8 hours ago where these articles, within the last 8 hours, these articles were released, on BlackRock. And you see just by the titles, right? Look at the top one. BlackRock strikes deal to bring ports on both sides of the Panama Canal under American control. I'll show you here. It does say control. And then you see BlackRock's GIP is close to raising $25 billion for a new fund. And BlackRock completes the purchase of private market specialist Preqin. I think it's Preqin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So in the first article, it basically says that the Hong Kong-based conglomerate that operates ports near the Panama Canal has agreed to sell shares, right, to BlackRock, pretty much, right, after, the president, alleged Chinese interference with the operations of the critical shipping lane. So the filing pretty much says that CK Hutchison Holding, right, on Tuesday, it would sell shares of, Hutchison Port Holdings and Hutchison Port Group Holdings, right? The two units hold 80% of the Hutchison Ports Group that operates 43 ports in 23 countries. So the consortium pretty much comprised of BlackRock, Global Infrastructure Partners, remember we mentioned that before, and Terminal Investment Limited will acquire 90% of interest in the Panama Ports Company, right? And those own and operate the ports of Balboa and Cristobal in Panama. Like, whoa, right? So with that in mind, you look at the next article, and it says that BlackRock's Global Infrastructure Partner, remember GIP, is close to raising roughly $25 billion for its latest flagship fund, right? A sum that will make it one of the largest in the infrastructure industry, according to people familiar with the matter. And then you look at the next article, right? We talked about it, we mentioned it, and it says that asset manager BlackRock has concluded the acquisition of Preqin, right? And again, I don't know if I'm saying that right, an independent provider in private markets data, right? So this is an independent provider of private market data. So this means that this company has a lot of data, right, in private markets. And honestly, you don't have to get too deep into the article. It's pretty much the deal secured, right? And the move is set to bolster BlackRock's offering across both public and private markets, integrated investment technology and data solutions on a single platform. And if you read further, it says that Preqin offers insights to over 220,000 users, including asset managers and banks. Honestly, a lot of this can be attributed to just a bunch of babbling, right? A bunch of stuff like, what does that mean, right? What does that mean to me, right? Why do I care about that? And if I'm being honest, none of that makes sense until you read, somewhat of a famous quote, actually a really famous quote in the financial world that says, be greedy when there is fear in the markets, right? I believe that's how it goes. Be greedy when there's fear in the markets. And if you look at the markets right now, I mean, there's a huge correction. There is, anything from like talks of like tariffs, talks of, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I mean, everything is coming down right now. Now, regardless of what your opinions are about BlackRock, I mean, I get it. It's a very controversial company, very controversial stock. But it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter how controversial, how bad, how much of a villain you want to paint BlackRock to be. And, yeah, you might be right. But if it's one thing I want you to understand, if it's one thing that you need to learn and to take away from this, is that the market does not give a single flying about your feelings. Whether you buy into BlackRock or not, or whether you think this company is just full of villains and they are destroying the world, no matter how you see BlackRock, there is money to be made. And if you're in the market and you're trying to, buy your assets based on your opinion on how you feel about those companies, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out a lot. Now, I'm not advocating for BlackRock and I'm not advocating for bad companies, but the reality is that there is money to be made, right? Like, I mean, it's not a conscious thing and it's not an opinion thing. It's like a making money thing. So, I mean, I'm not saying let's allow villains to run companies, run the world for that matter. But, until something changes, I will do everything I can and look into every company that I can, or ETF or mutual fund for that matter, to try to beef up the portfolio. Remember, that's key, beefing up the portfolio. We're trying to build long term generational wealth. All right. We're trying to be financially free. Now, take this information for what it's worth. I mean, I'm not saying buy BlackRock, I'm not saying sell BlackRock, but you see what's in the news, you see how the markets are reacting, and this might be a great opportunity to buy into BlackRock. And then 6 months from now or 5 years from now, maybe you can sell it and make some money, or maybe things change, maybe they don't. Nonetheless, whatever your views are on BlackRock, there's money to be made. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember, keep dollar cost averaging, keep investing. Till next one. Take care.